Hey, what's going on, everyone? My name is Jason Turley, and today I put together a quick little presentation, 3 tips to stand out in the tech industry. So perhaps you're brand new to tech, cybersecurity, or you're already an industry professional, but you want help standing out amongst the crowd. These are just 3 quick tips I have jotted down that I want to present. So bear with me here, but if you're familiar with the Linux file permissions, they are read, write, and execute. I'll break these down a bit more, but this is a mnemonic that I use to help me remember the 3 points to stand out. Read, write, execute. All right, so reading, aka consuming content, consuming material. This is what you're doing right now watching this video. The IT industry, cybersecurity, software engineering, they are huge on continual learning. There's always a new technology, there's always a new exploit. You're never done learning. You're always going to be a researcher. So you should always be consuming blog posts, articles, newsletters, whatever. I don't believe one way is better than anything else. Some people prefer YouTube or Udemy courses. Some people prefer university education. Or you can attend different workshops and conferences. Some of the conferences that I recommend going to are the B-Sides. You can just Google B-Sides and then the name of your area, the name of your city. These are smaller local conferences that usually have hands-on workshops, great talks from people in the industry, and it's not like a billion people there where it feels overwhelming. And then, of course, some of the bigger workshops and conferences are Black Hat and DEF CON. Next up, writing or creating. So as you're going about your way, learning new things, consuming new material, you should pay that forward. You should take notes. You can turn your notes into a blog post or a YouTube video, kind of like what I do here. There's a million ways to set up a website. You can host it yourself. You can do WordPress. GitHub has ways to host websites. Or you can just use LinkedIn and Twitter and make different posts, make different threads. Anything you're comfortable with to just document your knowledge, get it out there, share it with others. GitHub, GitLab, these are easy ways to post either cheat sheets of code you have, different scripts you've written, notes for certification exams. And hey, once you write enough or create enough content, and before you know it, different doors, different opportunities are opened up for you. And all you did was document and share your journey. I believe that's how Darknet Diaries, which is a great podcast on cybersecurity, he started out doing blogs on his website, and that gave him the confidence to start the podcast. And now he's like the go-to podcast guy. Lastly, my third and final tip is to execute, or just do it, as Shia LaBeouf and Nike say. This is the most fun, in my opinion. This is your hands-on keyboard time. This is sitting down, playing some music, drinking some coffee, and just getting after it. You have a million platforms. You have Try Hack Me, which is something I always recommend for newcomers. There's Hack the Box, which is Try Hack Me, but dialed up just a tiny bit harder. And then if you're a software engineer or a programmer, you might not want the Hack the Box or Try Hack Me. Those are cybersecurity related. So for my programmers out there, Leak Code is a great way to test your programming knowledge. There's different capture the flag events like overthewire.com. There's also Under the Wire for PowerShell. That's a lesser known capture the flag. There's ctftime.org. They have weekend CTFs that run from Friday to Sunday. There's certain ones for Halloween. There's ones for Christmas, where the objective is there is a web vulnerability, for example, or there's a buffer overflow that you need to find and exploit. After you do so, you get access to like a flag. And if you're truly hardcore, you can do things like bug bounty. So companies will ask you to find different vulnerabilities in their product. If you can find it and document it and you're like the first one, you usually get rewarded monetarily. All right, maybe that made no sense whatsoever. Let's walk through a quick example on how you can apply these 3 things. So let's say we're learning buffer overflows, which is an entry-level binary exploitation topic. Buffer overflows are still widely available today, FYI, especially if you like any IoT hacking, like smart fridges, smart vacuums, anything like that. Security usually is not the main focus, so they have low-level things like buffer overflows. So I'm going to learn buffer overflows, so I'm going to use the first tip, which is reading or consuming content, right? So I'm going to watch a YouTube video about how to exploit buffer overflows, maybe from someone like Live Overflow, who's a great YouTuber who has a playlist and all this stuff. As I'm doing that, I'm going to document it. I'm going to take notes and I'm going to save them to my public GitHub profile that other people can access. And over time, I have this notebook, I have this portfolio, and people look at me and like, oh, wow, you know all this about buffer overflows? And then afterwards, I'm going to execute it. I'm going to get my hands on keyboard time. I'm going to find a capture the flag event like Pico CTF or Over the Wire, and I'm going to actually identify and exploit that buffer overflow. And these 3 tips, they all feed into each other. There's no correct starting path. Perhaps you're already executing, you're doing a capture the flag event, and then you get stuck. You don't know enough to solve the challenge. So you need to take a step back and read more about the topic, right? You're doing a SQL injection, but you're stumped. So go read from Portswigger or the guys from Burp Suite. Go find some way to increase your SQL injection knowledge. And then take some notes, right? So then when you go back to that CTF later, you already have your cheat sheet made. So these 3 tips, no, they're not sequential necessarily. You can do them in any order. Lastly, tip 4, bonus tip, if you want to call it that, enjoy the journey. The journey into cybersecurity, to IT, to programming, it's going to be long. Have fun, make friends throughout the way, solve challenges, create content, and just generally love what you do. I think that's the best approach you can have. Just having a true passion for what you do will take you a long way in life. So that's all I have. Quick, short little video. Read, write, execute. These are some of my socials, my Twitter, my website, and a Discord channel. I've done these things, and it's helped me tremendously. It's opened a lot of doors for me. Simply being hungry, consuming content, sharing it on a blog or a YouTube channel or on Twitter, and then doing capture the flag events online, in person. It's helped me a lot. It's helped me get this current job that I have, and I know it'll help me get jobs in the future. So as always, let me know in the comments below what you thought. If you have a different strategy, a different tip, take it easy, and see you guys in the next video.